Mark Carney and his cabinet were sworn in last week. But diversity, equity, and inclusion advocates across the board are raising some alarm bells as to what's missing from Carney's new cabinet. And that's because the new cabinet does not include any named minister focusing on gender equity, disability, or LGBTQ2S+ portfolio.
What is that? What are these ministries for all of this? Like, do the straight Caucasian guys have a ministry as well? Like, I'm sorry, what's this bullshit? I'm sorry, I'm against DEI. No, don't get me wrong. I think DEI as an idea is great. However, the execution, how we force DEI, that's full-on discrimination. And just thinking that what ministries were these?
Disability or LGBT.
No, that's
Minister focusing on gender equity.
Minister focusing on gender equity. Seriously, what are they doing? Oh yeah, that's a ministry that's setting up the quotas. That's a ministry thanks to which you have to answer on a job application if you belong to LGBTQ or any other minority, if you're female, or what gender are you specify as. And like the only part I agree with is the question, are you a veteran? Because I believe these people serve this country and they have valuable skills. And I agree with them having some privileges over everyone else.
Disability or LGBTQ2S+ portfolios. And a lot
Like, why? I'm sorry, why do you need a ministry for disability? Like, again, if the country worked the way it's supposed to, you don't need any of these. And like, what's the ministry for disability? You have laws against discrimination, right? So no one should discriminate anyone who is disabled in one way or another. And let's be honest, for some things, the disability is tiebreaker. Like if you're a pilot, you need to have let's say good eyesight. You need to have both arms. Like, I'm sorry, but like some things, some requirements, that's it. Like for me, I can't be a police officer because of my eyesight. Am I complaining? No. Like, it's true, if my contact lenses break, I'm gonna be screwed. I'm gonna be shooting all over the place. Ridiculous. Yeah, that's why I can't be a police officer. It sucks, but I agree with it. And like, you should not need these ministries if your law system works the way it's supposed to. Are you discriminating someone? Okay, you broke the law. You're in trouble. And come on, Minister for LGBTQ. Why? Why do we need it? Do we have a ministry for straight people? We don't. Like, just these things create discrimination. And that was the biggest issue with Amazon warehouses. They have these affinity groups. And they have like 14 affinity groups. They have Asians of Amazon, Black people of Amazon, LGBTQ, Latinas of Amazon, women of Amazon, mother of Amazon. You know who they're missing? And it's very ridiculous because they just created discrimination for no reason. They're missing straight Caucasian male. Like, just for no reason, they created discrimination. Like, you create a group for everyone, and that's discrimination. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, if Mark Carney really abolished these positions and these ministries, I think it's only a good thing. And everyone should be happy about it, right? You want the state and the country work the way that you don't need these ministries. Again, like, everyone needs to follow the law. If everyone follows the law, you don't need this stuff.
A lot of people are not happy about that. Carney's slimmed-down cabinet of 23 ministers, compared to 36 under former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, eliminates both the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth and the Minister of Diversity.
Gender Equality and Youth. What is that ministry? So now we have a ministry for kids as well? what are we talking about, Ministry for Kids? First of all, again, you have a laws, then you have parents to protect them. What are we talking about, Ministry for Youth? It's a Minister of Diversity. What the heck, man? Like Canada, the same as US, we're kind of built on immigrants. We have so many immigrants. We're going to be diverse, whatever you want it or no. And again, if the country works the way you intend to, if everyone follows the law, you're not going to discriminate anyone, and you're going to hire based on a merit. So it doesn't matter if I'm an immigrant from Europe or immigrant, I don't know, from Asia. Whoever's best for the position's gonna get hired. Like, what is it, Minister of Diversity? Such a ridiculous thing.
Diversity, inclusion, and persons with disabilities. Now, the smaller cabinet is likely due to the imminent federal election and Carney's limited options from existing elected MPs who've committed to run again. You know, Marcy Ian, the outgoing Minister of Gender Equality.
And that's what we pay money for. That's what taxpayers' money go to. Minister of Gender Equality and Youth? What are we talking about? Is it gonna end up like with population control that you can have only the certain amount of baby boys and baby girls? So we're all equal, like it needs to be 50-50, and if you're not, then what? Oh yeah, these people are for abortion, so I'm pretty sure I know what would happen, right?
And Youth is not running in the next election. But the decision to eliminate key roles is still facing harsh criticism from nonprofits, advocates, and people across the country. In a joint statement following the announcement, more than 200 Canadian organizations slammed, in particular, the decision to eliminate the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth. Quote, even in a lean cabinet, which purports to be responding to specific economic pressures, the absence of the dedicated minister sends a troubling message about the current government's priorities and commitment to advancing rights for intergenerational women, to us LGBTQIA+ people, and gender equality at large.
Let's listen to this again before I reply, because it's kind of ridiculous.
Rights for intergenerational women, to us LGBTQIA+ people, and gender equality at large.
So, this equality minister, why do they make it sound like it's only for women and LGBTQ? Like, how is that equality? Shouldn't it take in consideration all genders, and whatever the identity groups you have? Again, like by them skipping everyone who is not women or member of LGBTQ, you're creating discrimination, which is illegal. Like, it's ridiculous. And hopefully that's the good thing. That one good thing Mark Carney does, that he realizes that discrimination's against the law, and maybe that's why he abolished this position. Hopefully he abolished this position, we'll see. But like, you can't have a minister who's literally fighting for some kind of a preferential treatment to few identity groups while pretty much putting in disadvantage the other identity groups, right? And you call it the equality minister, but he stands only for some of the identity groups. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, and I really hope Mark Carney abolished it, because he realized it's BS and it's against the law to discriminate anyone. And if we're gonna follow the law, we don't need this ministry, because literally, if you discriminate anyone because of them being LGBTQ members or women, you're breaking the law. Done. If this country works, you don't need this ministry. This is just outrageous that it's even a video, like, come on.
Now, Canada's had a Minister for the Status of Women since 1971, with the portfolio often getting paired with another department such as Heritage or State. And in 2018, under Trudeau, the role was renamed the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and more formally included LGBTQ++ issues. In 2021, it became the Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth, held by Marcy Ian until the most recent cabinet realignment. In addition to women's and youth issues, Ian was also responsible for LGBTQ++ issues and overseeing programs like Canada's 2S LGBTQI+ Action Plan. And a spokesperson for the government told the Canadian press that the Ministry of Women and Gender Equality...
Okay, hold on. Tell me how... I don't want to be mean. But I know someone who works in Good Life Fitness. And if there's a gentleman who one day decides that he identifies as a woman, maybe for one day, maybe he woke up and feels like it, he can go to the women's changing room and no one can stop him. He has right for it. So tell me, how is this Minister for Women and Equality and LGBTQ, how does it work? Because I can't see that you're protecting women's rights while letting someone with the penis just walk into the changing room. That doesn't work. To me, that doesn't work. And yeah, like, I don't know what more to say. Like, kind of feel like it might go against each other. So how is she handling it, right?
Equality still exists, and it, along with diversity and inclusion, will be overseen by Stephen Guilbeault as the Minister of Canadian Culture and Identity. Disabilities will be handled by Stephen McKinnon, Minister of Jobs and Families. But in this current moment where the very idea of diversity, equity, and inclusion is facing such backlash from conservatives, most notably US President Donald Trump, any decision to cut out inclusive language and shuffle it away under portfolios is notable. That's especially true, particularly when Carney himself has not publicly affirmed a commitment to LGBTQ++ rights or other specific equity categories.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry, but all of this diversity, equity, inclusion, it's just about trying to get preferential treatment for some identity groups. And I'm just so sick of it. Again, if you have law based on discrimination is illegal, that's all you need. Like, everyone's gonna be equal, right? Like, if someone treats you in a wrong way, if someone discriminates you, you're just gonna report it, you're gonna take legal action, and that's it. But what DEI does is that it literally creates discrimination. So I don't know why they're fighting so hard for that. Like, don't you want to be accepted as a normal, as an equal? Like, we're all citizens, residents, whatever, of Canada, and that's it. Like, no one cares what sexual orientation you are, what gender you are, what everyone's colorblind. Like, that should be the goal, right? Like, hire based on merit. Your identity is not your character. Like, you can, like, I might be from Europe, but I might have a different experience than someone else who's from Europe, right? It's not my character that I'm European. So I don't know. And what DEI does is that it literally simplifies the people into these groups. Like, oh, you're from Europe, you're from Asia, and that's who you are. No, that's not true. That's not true. Like, again, it should be based on merit, based on who you are as a person. Like, we don't care. And again, 10 years ago, if you talk about your sexual orientation at work, you're going to go visit HR. So why did it go in such an extreme that now you have to talk about it and you get a preferential treatment? Like, I don't know. This is one thing I agree with Mark Carney. And if he did this willingly, I have to clap. Like, he's right. Like, if the country works the way it's supposed to, you don't need some diversity equity minister. Like, why? It's not about preferential treatment. It's about everyone being equal, right? So
in that joint statement, all of those Canadian organizations pointed out that eliminating a dedicated role to gender equity will roll back accountability. Quote, consolidating these responsibilities into a broader portfolio...
No. What? What about accountability? You mean that if I don't agree with someone, I'm gonna get called all of these op, ep, blah, blah, blah? Like racist and stuff like that? That's accountability to you just for having different opinion? It doesn't even need to be disagreement with your opinion, but just having different opinion, and you automatically get called transphobic, racist, all of it. Like it's literally like you copy paste these tags, and it's like, oh, you're this and this and this and this only because you disagree with me. No, that's ridiculous. Again, I think the more accountability is going to be if we get rid of this ministry and just follow the law. Because there's only one illegal, well, not just one illegal thing, right? But the thing that comes to my mind most is discrimination. There you go. It's illegal. Someone discriminates you, take them to the court, report them. The employers discriminate you, well, that's going to be an issue. So why do we need the ministry for creating more discrimination towards some groups? Ridiculous.
Undermines the focus, expertise, and resources required to tackle systemic issues effectively. Simply put, it will not work. Gender equality demands dedicated leadership, accountability, and sustained attention, none of which can be adequately achieved when it is treated as an afterthought within a larger, unrelated ministry.
We've got passion, we've got determination. And if we set our sight...
What? What? Oh my God, I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, you have a law that protects everyone who gets discriminated. A law that is against hate crime, right? Hate crime would be racism. Hate crime would be towards the LGBTQ people. Hate crime would be towards immigrants. Hate crime can be towards white people. The same with discrimination. Why do you need ministry for it? You already have a laws. All this ministry does is to create quotas. Like, oh yeah, you need 10% of immigrants, 20% of LGBTQ people in your business, right? What does it create? Discrimination, because then you're not hiring based on merit, you're hiring based on skill color, sexual orientation, and that has nothing to do at work. Like, you think because someone has a different skin color than me, they will be better employees than me, or vice versa, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You can have company that's 100% immigrants. As long as they're based on merit, I'm okay with it, right? Like, you want the best out of best. Same way you want it in a government. You want the best people out of best people. Which, well, with this election, yeah, well, I'll leave it at that.